Today I'm one of the lucky first people in the world to drive this 400 brake horsepower tribute to Jim Clark. It's exactly 6 decades since he won his second World Championship in 1965. And in the same year he won the Indy 500 as well, just for good measure. What a legend, what a car. Apart from the hand-painted green and yellow paintwork, here are just a few things that make this very special Emira such a great car. 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.3 seconds, a 3.5 litre supercharged V6 that you can ogle through your rear view mirror, and it sounds like this. And for about $150,000, you're not just buying a sports car, you're buying exclusivity, because just 60 of these cars are being built, and this is the first one in 60. That's rarer than a sunny day in Scotland. But speed isn't the only thing you're buying. You're getting craftsmanship, and that isn't something that you get in cars that roll off a production line. Anodized metal fuel filler cap, silver mirror caps, yellow tailpipes, and just for that extra retro feel, there's a wooden gear shifter. The only thing that's better than that is Jim Clark's signature splashed across the passenger dashboard. Special. Because when you're driving, you're only connected to the car by 3 things: the steering wheel, the pedals, and the Bridge of Weir leather seat. The red is vivid bright and it brings this cockpit to light, and it's also where the star of the show really sat. And no, the unmatched seats aren't an expensive mistake. The red matches the trim of the car that Jim Clark drove to success in the 1965 season, and the black, well, that's just for the passenger. And the reason I've come to this picturesque corner of Scotland isn't just the roads or the scenery. It's to make a pilgrimage to where the leather that covers these seats was made. Bridge of Weir Leather has been crafting history since 1905. If you've ever been in a supercar, the chances are, well, you sat on some of their handiwork. From the Model T Ford to Concorde, even the DeLorean in Back to the Future. Today I'm going to go inside and find out just how the magic happens. This is the first stage of the process. Once the hides have come in and been processed, they come into this area. This is what they look like. As you can see, there's lots of rough edges around the outside, which they obviously can't use. So the guys behind me over here, that's what they're doing. They're trimming it down so it's a uniform shape. And then they go across the room to this side where there's another machine where it's shaved off so it's the right thickness. It can be used for car seats and other applications. And this is where the magic happens. This is the giant spraying machine, just like a car body shop, except it's for leather. And the great thing about Bridge of Weir is you can have whatever colour you like. You can bring something in, a piece of clothing, your favourite handbag, and they'll match the colour. And that process is done in here. And to prove the point, Lee, hello.
Nice to see you.
Just tell me about some of the strange colours that people want to match up when they come and see you.
So because we offer bespoke leather, we match anything from a cricket ball, a woman's dress, even a handbag. So anything that the customer really wants, we can create. Initially what we do is we have the master sample, we read it into a machine that we call the data color spectrophotometer. Essentially takes a picture of it and it provides us with a recipe. The next part is we take it over to a extraction controlled spray booth.
Yeah.
We'll pin a piece of leather up, turn the extraction on, and we'll spray it with hand spray.
So when I was a kid, my first car, I decided to spray it on my parents' driveway. Great idea. Except I managed to spray the house at the same time. So very foolishly, Bridge of Weir is giving me the spray gun. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, that is Jim Clark red. Fantastic. Is that all right?
Done a good job. We have a job for you.
Yeah, thank you. Every factory has a lab, and this one's got a fantastic lab. The machine here, that's recreating people's bottoms sliding onto leather seats, and it's doing it thousands and thousands of times, just like you do when you sit in your car. Everywhere I go in this particular part of the building, I keep finding these frames, and yeah, I'm sort of dying to know what they use them for.
Well, paneling heights for Aston Martin.
Okay, and what's the frame? Why do you need the frame?
Because Aston Martin insists on having 5 panels for an A grade height, so we are then checking in the panel, check for scars, insect bites, contamination.
So would that have come from probably the wire in the field or something? Or yeah? Okay. Okay.
How hot a fence or something.
I can't see a thing here.
We've been doing it for a long time.
How long have you been doing this?
I'm 29 years.
No way. Well, doing this, or are you doing other jobs as well?
Well, I've done a lot of jobs through the factory.
Okay.
But I've been the longest on here.
Okay, have you got leather in your car?
No, can't afford it.
Next up, we're heading to Bridge of Weir's state-of-the-art cutting facility just a short drive away. To make sure I don't get lost, I've got James Muirhead, the CCO of Bridge of Weir, riding shotgun. So it's your great-granddad?
My great-grandfather, Arthur Muirhead, yes, he was the one that went over to Detroit and met with Henry Ford.
You didn't know him, obviously?
I didn't know him, no, unfortunately I never got to meet him.
How did your father talk about him?
So he was a bit of a visionary in himself. He understood what Henry Ford was trying to do. Arthur Muirhead at the time thought that, well, they're all going to have to sit on something within these vehicles, so why not let it be Bridge of Weir Leather? So jumped in the boat across to Detroit, met with Henry Ford and over a glass of whiskey, and he said, we make very high-end upholstery leather and we supply many luxurious marques at the time, and would it be something that would interest you? And Henry Ford jumped at the chance.
Really, it is quite a sustainable thing, isn't it? Those hides would just go into landfill or something.
All of the hides that we use are a byproduct of the meat industry. If you think back to when cavemen and women used to hunt to eat, they then used to use the skin for clothes. And essentially it's one of the oldest recycling industries in the world, and it's the same process that we follow today.
Have you got any vegetarians in the factory?
We do. We've got vegetarians, we've got vegans. Again, we harm no animal for the production of leather, and we never would. If meat consumption stopped tomorrow, we wouldn't have a business and we would happily close our doors.
Either by using AI or by the people that hand mark the hides to identify the natural characteristics. What we've done is we've then put the hide on a flat state on our cutting beds. What the cameras up above us will then do is scan that hide to pick up those natural characteristics. We then have a library of cut parts within our computer system here, and that will then nest the cut parts on the hide to see what the best yield we can achieve from that leather by minimizing the waste. It's almost like a big game of Tetris. We're trying to tessellate the cut parts so they fit in the best geometric fashion so we can maximize as much leather as we possibly can.
So I've been trying to work out, I've seen various patterns everywhere, but I'm trying to work out what part that might be in a car somewhere.
We supply dashboard cut parts for Aston Martin, for example, and they're absolutely massive. They're nearly as tall as me, about 1.8 meters. And as you can imagine, that's a huge part of the hide, so that's very identifiable. Now what we're going to see within this big box here is that the knives are actually going to cut out those parts itself. And
this is going to go back to the neck.
And then all the cut parts that you saw that were projected on that hide will be good to go to be picked off and go to final inspection.
So it's been laser cut. So in the old days, this just would have been done by hand with a pair of scissors?
When I used to cut, we used to have wooden templates and a knife, and have a wooden template for every cut part, and you used to put the template on and then cut by hand, and then it moved on to what we call cookie cutters, where you had cookie cutters the same shape, and you would then press it into the leather and you'd roll over it so it would cut part out. And now we've moved on to these automated cutting machines, so it's really efficient.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Somebody's Range Rover.
Yeah.
I mean, that's precision, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like almost like a piece of metal that's been cut there.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. James, thank you so much for showing us around. I mean, it's been a complete education, and I hope we can come back again sometime. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Now it's time to sink back into the very seat that started this journey and take in the last of the Scottish scenery as the sun sets. You know, I wasn't sure when I first got on this car whether I was going to like it or not. I just thought it was a bit of a pimped up Evora, which is a great car in itself, but was it really worth the spend? And the more I drive it, especially here in Scotland, on the roads where, well, Jim Clark plied his trade for the first time, the more I've got to like it. So right now I'm just gonna put my shades on and go for a drive. Together, they've created something special, something rare and long-lasting, the roar of a V6, the touch of Bridge of Weir Leather, and that makes this car something very special indeed.